Oh no, I'm late. Oh, I'm so late. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Oh, so late. Good grief. Uh, oh, hello. Sorry about that. I'm sorry I'm a little late here, but I was out. I was out reforming the Republic into the First Galactic Empire for a safe and secure society. Yeah, that's the reason. Welcome to the Imperial Collector. No, I'm not Emperor Palpatine. I am the Imperial Collector. Some of you are saying, wow, it's been a while. Yes, it has been. And I'm sorry about that. It's been almost 2 years since the last episode of The Imperial Collector. Life gets in the way sometimes, but we're back and we're in the collection room that we've talked about. And today we've got a great show for you. We're going to be unboxing some figures by Hot Toys brand. They're mainly from the Mandalorian series, the Ahsoka series, Book of Boba Fett, as well as Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars. So a lot of things to get to, not just today. We have a series going forward, a lot more of these figures coming in. So stay tuned and I'll be right back. Got to put these robes up. Goodness. Sorry about that. Those robes are just too darn hot. You know, what's interesting, something I don't understand, almost every show you see, people are wearing jackets. It's like they're on a desert planet, we've got on a jacket. They're on an ice planet, we've got on a jacket. I'm like, wow, two very different climates there. What's the deal? I'd be burning up if I had a jacket on in the desert. Anyway, let's get started. So, welcome to the collection room. Now, as you'll see behind me, some 12-inch figures, mainly from Hasbro, some even from Kenner, some older ones. But that's not what we're going over today. Now, once we get these new Hot Toys figures fully unboxed and curated, which means we'll be putting them on the shelves to get ready to do our review of the collection room. A lot of stuff in here, a lot of stuff to go over, but you know what? That's the end of this season. So stay tuned. Season finale. Don't know when that'll be because we've got a lot of unboxing to do, a lot of videos to go over. So I hope you're going to have fun with that. We're going to just set the Emperor to the side here and go ahead and unbox our first figure. We're going to do two in today's episode. First of all, we have Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. First of all, these boxes are awesome. With the picture of the actual figure. Both of these are pictures of the actual figures on the side here as well. And you have also, every one of these has a particular logo, which you'll see from the series that they're part of. So when we go into the Book of Boba Fett or Star Wars Rebels or the Ahsoka series, you'll see they have different colors in the label. So we'll go over that in the next episode. First of all, we've got Din Djarin here, the Mandalorian as they call him, from the Mandalorian series. Going to go ahead and unbox this here. Now, this is a deluxe version. You'll see it's the Mandalorian and Grogu, as it says there on the box. So it's technically two figures in here. We always love Grogu. And some instruction sheets here. Wow. Huh. Well, this is just telling us exactly how to change out the head sculpts, how to put, there's some, the thing about Hot Toys that's really awesome, they have Velcro they're using, they use real cloth, premium plastics, they have some metal with magnets, all sorts of things that'll happen here with these figures. Very, very premium figures, quite awesome. But we'll go ahead and unbox this one. We'll set those to the side right there. Wow. First of all, again, some artwork inside the box. That's good enough just to stick on the wall by itself. The actual figure, and of course Grogu's in a bag there. And this is from the season when he had actually taken Boba Fett's armor. You can see his helmet there. From Cobb Vanth. Because at first he accused him of stealing an armor from a Mandalorian. And he found out, no, actually he bought this armor off of Jawa, who evidently had found it after Boba Fett got out of the Sarlacc pit, which you'll find if you watch the Book of Boba Fett. If you haven't, oops, spoiler alert, sorry. We'll set this over here to the side. Don't want to damage that any. Wow. Look at this set and look at these accessories. How it's packaged. Great packaging. You have the accessory tray here. You have, of course, Grogu and then a different head sculpt. Now let's go ahead and take these out and take a look. We'll look at these accessories first. Of course, they've always got some type of tape or plastic or something that's keeping these in place. Wow. What a load of accessories here. So let's see. We've got several accessories here. He's actually got his the darts that fly out of his hand. He's got a dart launcher that's on his hand that I'll show you in a moment, and the darts actually come out of there, and it's really cool. It's like the smoke and everything is coming out with the dart launcher, so it's like coming at you. He's also got another launcher that's an actual fire launcher, like fire spray, and it comes out like this, and so that's fire coming right at you. And I love the color of this. It actually looks like fire because it's got blue down here where the fuel ignites, a little bit of white going up into orange and red, and really looks like fire that's flying at you. He's also got a grappling hook that kind of reminiscent of Batman. If you can see that there, where Batman will shoot something up in the sky and it'll help him launch across. And it's cool how it's on a wire there, going right across there. Very, very awesome. There's a knife in here. There's a communicator. A couple of grenades. Oh, I didn't see this. He actually has the hilt to the Darksaber. That's pretty cool. And he has several hands. See, that's one thing about these figures too. Like that hand there. That hand can hold a gun. There's a fist hand for when the Mandalorian punches people. I won't show both, but there's actually one, a right and a left. So a bunch of different hands you can do. He's got his jetpack. Very nice detail, very nice coloring. It's chrome looking, but what's awesome is these shows, Star Wars, except for when they're like on the Death Star or some type of Imperial planet, the Republic, it's real grimy. They're on Tatooine, like mainly Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. He's on Tatooine, or he'll go to other planets, and they're just grimy and dirty. And he doesn't get clean a lot as far as his armor. There's a lot of grime and dirt on there, like oil stains, and it's done on purpose. It's really awesome. Let's see what else we've got here. Now, I don't see it in this box, and I don't think it came with it. No, it didn't. But we will have other figures that do have, jetpacks as well, and there are fire that pops right in there, and so it'll show a fire motion when he's jetting off. I don't think they meant this one, necessarily this figure, to have that feature because it's mainly from a particular scene in The Mandalorian, and he didn't really fire his jetpack at that time. But within some other boxes, we'll get that fire, and we can put it in his jetpack and test that out as well. Wow. Going on here to get the actual figure. Again, got to be careful with the box. Ooh. With the box here, and I've already dropped something. Hopefully didn't break it. Blooper reel. We'll put that back in the accessories tray and set that over here so we don't tear something up. Okay, let's see. Of course, there's probably some plastic on here, like there always is. I mean, just very premium. Very, very premium here with these figures. Wow. This is pretty darn awesome. So first of all, we'll show you the head sculpts here. They have Din Djarin himself. I mean, his hair is even flocked right up there where it's like coming out of the back of his head. I mean, that really looks like the actor Pedro Pascal. Really looks like him. Now, as you'll know, if you've paid attention to The Mandalorian, that Mandalorians normally cannot take their helmets off. And in the show, again, spoilers, Mandalorian, Din Djarin, actually has to go to the living waters on Mandalore to cleanse himself. And that means he can't take his helmet off again, which is pretty interesting. So Mandalorians normally don't take their helmets off. Later on in the series, you'll find that Bo-Katan Kryze, coming soon in the future, unboxing, Doesn't wear her helmet. She's not really part of the old Mandalorian guard. So there's a whole storyline about that. I won't go into that exactly. But we have here Baby Grogu. Now, this is a specific Baby Grogu to this set. There's a bunch of different Baby Grogus that they'll come out with, but it's very detailed. He even has his feet up under here. I even have some figures that, are pretty big size, and he's just got nothing down here. No feet, no anything. You just kind of sit him. There's like bean bags or something in there where it just keeps him weighted. But that is a very detailed figure right there, as you'll see with Grogu. And he even has some articulation in his head there. And we'll see that he goes in a little bag on the Mandalorian. Some more accessories here. We have the Mandalorian's main weapon, which is this big gun, and it has a little fork at the end of it. Uses that a lot in the show. Oh, the dark saber. Yes. Now that was one, again, big storyline. Dark saber is handled by several people in this. By Moff Gideon, coming soon also, and Bo-Katan Kryze, as we talked about before. Darksaber first showed up in Star Wars Rebels, which we have some figures from there too we'll be getting to in the future. Pretty cool saber. Similar to a lightsaber, but a little bit different. It is from Mandalore. And of course he has his Beskar staff that he got from Morgan Elsbeth in one of the episodes as well, made out of Beskar. Pretty cool scene in there where he fights Moff Gideon with that. Continuing on to accessories before we get to the actual figure. Saving the best for last here. Just a minute. Now, I'm not going to take all these out because when I display him, I'm not going to display him with all these things. But what you're going to see here is in these bags right here, he has Boba Fett's armor. There's Boba Fett's jetpack, his helmet, and in here is supposed to be the rest of his armor. Now, it's not actually in there. I've checked to see, and I haven't looked at it before, but I read where it's not actually his armor. But it is weighted to where you would actually think his armor was in those bags. And the Mandalorian, there's a scene in there where he's carrying a staff, and he actually has Boba Fett's armor there, right here. You'll see back from this card where he's supposed to have like the staff up there, and he has Boba Fett's armor that he's taken back to town. Okay, now for the best part. A lot of boxes here. Gotta figure out how to move this around. First time we've done this unboxing, so a little different. His foots fell off. Poor Mando. First time we take him out of the box, and we've got an injury. But that pops right back in. Whoops. Hopefully. Oh dear. Well, we're gonna get his foot back on. There we go. There we go. Good gracious. Okay. To start off with, he looks like Weekend at Bernie's. Okay. Wow. This was definitely worth the wait. The Mandalorian, Din Djarin himself. Check it out. What an awesome figure. I mean, all the details, again, with the scoring on his hands and his helmet, how it's not clean, they're not clean there. And like a lot of figures, the back of them will not have any detail to them or anything. This is full armor. He's got everything on there on his back as well. And he has his cape. It's tattered in the back like it is. There's cloth where there's supposed to be cloth. And it's actually a wired cape. So if you had him like flying, you could move it up, like wire it a certain way, and it would stay that way, like it was blowing in the wind. Or stretch it out and have it just draping down by his side. Now, really awesome. You have here his weapons holder. He can put his gun in there, his blaster, which, again, what did I do with those accessories? Oh, I put them right back in here. Have his blaster in there, as well as his jetpack. Goes right back here on his back. Wow. It's actually a magnet. So, take it off, put it on. Kind of like happens in the Mandalorian series. I don't exactly know how they explain that. How that just pops on there. I don't know if it's supposed to be magnets on the show or not, or how exactly they do that, but it's kind of interesting. Yeah, so he's got his blaster. We can put his blaster in his holster. Let me put this back in here, along with this. Gonna get this down to a science with the unboxing of this first figure. Great articulation in the hands. We're gonna put his gun right in his holster. Wow, I mean, this thing, of course, it's not real leather, it's pleather, but I mean, it's just awesome. There's even a strap that keeps the weapon in place. It is very, very cool. See, I just put his gun and his holster there, right there on the side. Pretty awesome. A very awesome figure. Now we're going to see how to. I mean, this figure, he's even got his grenades there, and right now he doesn't have his launcher, but evidently you just pop these right on. Don't exactly know how, but we will get that figured out. Exactly how that works. Because I'm not 100% sure. But we'll figure that out later with his other accessories. Now, I thought he had a sheath for his knife. I don't see it right here yet. Oh, there's where one of his bombs go. There's got a third one. Third bomb that pops right in there. That is pretty cool. Okay, now we're going to see exactly how his head comes off. Now, I don't want to just try to jerk the thing off of him. I want to try to get it on there correct. So let's look at these instructions. Evidently, you just pop the head sculpt right in there. Okay. Well, seems easy enough. Because that's the way I'm going to display him. I'm going to display him with his different head. Just because there's another figure also that is the Mandalorian. And he, well, might be a little difficult to get out of there. Let's pause that just a moment, and I'll be right back with you. I'll try to do something to get this head off a little better. Give me just a moment, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Now, as you'll see here, he's got his head on. Now, full disclosure, if you get one of these figures, Hot Toys, Mandalorian, Premium, and Grogu, and his chrome outfit, have a pair of pliers on hand. Wow, this thing was really stuck in there. And it left a little mark on there too, but he does have the like turtleneck on, so it'll cover that up. But wow, they really don't want these heads falling off while you're displaying them, or if somebody actually plays with them or something, I don't know. But there we go. That is Pedro Pascal, Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, and that's how I am going to definitely display him like that. Now, he does have this cool display stand that says on there, The Mandalorian. If you can see that, it says Star Wars and The Mandalorian. It has a base here. It just pop right in. Hopefully a lot easier than it was to get that head off. And then this actually just goes between his legs there. I don't like saying it because it sounds kind of vulgar, but it's called a crotch grabber. That's what it's called. Now, the last thing here we'll do to get this figure ready to pose and ready to display like I'm going to do is we'll go ahead and put Grogu in this little bag that the Mandalorian is going to carry him like across his shoulder. Put that on here. Just kind of goes around. Take his thing off there for a minute. And I guess that's Velcro. Not really sure what this is sticking on here with. Looks like it is a pouch with like a Velcro texture to it here that just kind of goes in there. And then Grogu would go in the bag and hang down in front. He's even got like a little display base where he'll definitely stand up nicely in there when he's in the bag. Well, there's got to be another way to do that too. A little bit of a learning curve. Might have to open these figures and get them figured out before we actually do that. But there is Din Djarin the Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm going to figure that part out. But he will sit right here on his stand quite nicely. Comes up like that. Keeps the figure in place. There's actually foot molds on this base. It's like sand base. That'll keep him right there in place. And I might end up putting Yoda maybe there on the side beside him or something as well. So thank you very much. This was Din Djarin, the Mandalorian. I hope you enjoyed that. A few moments, we'll be back and we'll go over Ahsoka Tano, the next figure we're going to unbox today. So give me a few moments and we'll be right back with you. Hello and welcome back to the second half of today's The Imperial Collector. The first part of the show, we went over the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, in his chrome armor. There was a part there in the first part that I left out when I was talking about another Mandalorian figure that I'll be getting. It's when he had his pre-Beskar armor, which is his pre-chrome looking armor. He was kind of a rough, dirty figure. He had like a brownish armor plate. And then later on, he meets the armorer for the Mandalorians. And he gets new Beskar armor. And that was the figure we went over in part one. But like I said, there is another figure that I will be getting. We'll show him later on in another episode. And I'll leave his helmet on him. And he does not come with a Din Djarin unmasked head sculpt. Well, now it's time to get to Ahsoka Tano. Now, this one, actually, the Mandalorian we unboxed is actually a newer figure in the line. So they've changed the way they box figures and things since this Ahsoka figure, because this was from the very first time that Mandalorian met Ahsoka. So this one's a little older. You'll notice the box is bigger, even though there's only one figure in here. And they kind of condensed the boxes a little bit when they did the Mandalorian figure, and they kind of packaged things a little bit different. So we're going to unbox her now, and we'll see again. The artwork on these things is pretty amazing. There with the figure right on the front, and like Star Wars is kind of a gloss, like metallic almost, black. So in the light you can see it how it's rocking back and forth. It changes color. Now this one opens to the side, which is kind of interesting. Very different box, very different configuration than that other one we just unboxed. Now this one has like a scene there with her And it's even got like a foam insulation there, so it doesn't damage the figure. Now this is a deluxe figure also, but it doesn't come with two figures. It only comes with one. And that's how it's originally boxed right there. You don't really see the accessories or anything. You only see the figure right there. And I was noticing her eyes look kind of weird in this, but I read that we'll find out in a little bit, you can move her eyes. You can actually have her eyes in different positions, so we'll find out how that works too. Now taking the front cover off here to get the figure. And evidently she just sets out. And we'll set her aside. Wow, that is nice. And we'll look at those accessories kind of like we did with the Mandalorian. Now this figure actually comes with, I don't know what I did with that. This figure actually comes with a display background. It's sealed. I'm not going to open it, but it looks like it's actually the background if you were to open it up from a scene in The Mandalorian. So that's pretty cool. If you were able to display this somewhere where you could have that scene out, that would be pretty awesome. Now, a little plastic here. She does come with a robe, more of a cloak or a cloth poncho. It is pretty cool. It's kind of ragged. That's the way it looked in the show. And there's like a wire on the hood to kind of help. And of course her top horns that are on her head go in there as well. So we'll set that aside. Might display her in that when I do display this figure. Let's take a look at what else she comes with. Well, maybe. Okay. A lot of pieces to this. So first of all, she's got this neat base. And it looks like, wow. There's like water that's in front of it. It connects somehow to the front. I guess it kind of sits in there, and there's like water in front of her, which is kind of cool when you display that figure. And then it's actually got a protective piece of film on here. We'll go ahead and take that off because we do want to display it with her name that says Ashoka Tano, kind of like you saw with the Mandalorian figure, how it said Star Wars and then the Mandalorian. So we'll set that aside for now. It does have another instruction booklet, which again, this instruction booklet is very different from that other one in regards to it doesn't fold out real big like that one did. So we're going to set this over here to the side for now. This goes in the back. Now this one is not like that other display, that crotch grabber as they call it. This one is a waist grabber. It goes around the waist, so it'll go around her waist as she displayed there. And it's a different bottom. It's more of like a rocky surface than that other one with the Mandalorian. It was supposed to mimic sand. Now this piece right here is, by looking in the book, the part that's going to move her eyes, when we take a look at that in a little bit. She comes with a lantern. Evidently she holds a lantern at some point. I don't really remember that in the series, but she does have that lantern. She has her iconic left and right double lightsaber blades, as you'll see there. And they actually do have little hooks that will hook onto her belt. I'll just look at one of these right now. They do have attachable. You take a little pin out and you attach the saber blade right there. Or they actually have something interesting. They have this, which is supposed to be a swooshing motion, like looks like they're actually, so I guess the way you do it, it kind of looks like that, where it's kind of light, where that would be the blade, and then this part here where it would be the swoosh action. I don't know, it kind of looks like it would be, kind of not. I don't know if I like that or not. They do have little hooks on the belt, on the sabers, that will go on her belt when we take her out. And those are the first accessories that are in here. I'm going to look in the book real quick for a moment, just to make sure I don't miss anything, or there's an accessory or something that I haven't seen. Just looking how to change those eyes, because we will want to do that, because right now her eyes are in a weird motion position. Okay. Looked at that. Let's get the figure. It looks like she does have a few hands. Now they're in the first part with her. Looks like there's a fist, hand. Great sculpt there, great color on there. Some scoring on there, and it really looks like it's really authentic to her. Now, here's the figure. Wow. I wish you could feel this figure. And kind of like Dinjarin, when we got him out, one of his feet were off. Looks like her hand didn't want to stay on. So here she is. Wow. Ahsoka Tano. Now, I wish you could feel this figure. Her skin is like rubbery, like skin. And her head horns, very interesting. Now this is a detailed figure. And it looks a lot like, again, like the character, like the actress Rosario Dawson, as you can see. Looks a lot like her. Now, her uniform, she's got like patches on her pants, and her feet have these like Japanese toe boots with like straps on the back. The back is very detailed. You'll see there. Like her waist belt there is tied. She has these little beads on the side like in the show. And there's little hooks there for her lightsabers. Now, I'm hoping, it is a lot easier to take her head off than it was with the Mandalorian. You're supposed to remove her head like this. And evidently we can fix those eyes to where they're moved around a little different. So let's see. Yep, there we go. Fix that one. And I fixed that one. Now that is very interesting. I have never seen a figure where you could change their eyes. But as you can see, you could do a lot of different things with that. You could have her looking to the side or kind of giving you a side eye, which would be kind of funny. And really make her look kind of menacing. I'm going to straighten up this left eye just a little bit more. Kind of get it a little bit more centered. That looks good. We'll put that back on. It just pops right up in there. There's a magnet up in there, actually. So you'll see her head there with her horns, and I forget what they call these. There is a name for this. I'll look that up and I'll tell you in the next episode, but it looks really nice. There's another character called Shakti. She's in the Star Wars shows as well. I have a figure of her that's from Kenner. Actually, she's up there. I think you'll see her right above my head, right there. Her horns are a little bigger. So I'm thinking like when they age, their horns get a little bigger, maybe. Because Shakti would be a Jedi. She's a Jedi Master, so she's been around a while to have Master rank. So right now, since it says in here you're supposed to take their head off to put the cloak on, I'm going to go ahead and do that. But, I mean, her outfit and her range of motion, like, there's no joint. There's no visible joint. Her arm moves, and it's like skin moving. It's crazy how detailed these figures are. Now, I'm going to look at the booklet again. to see about this cloak. Okay, so let's put her cloak on her. There is a little button here, evidently, that goes on, and it says it's easier if she doesn't have that head sculpt on. So it's good to have the instruction booklet, you know. It's fun to play around with these and learn things for yourself, but if you're wanting to display them or have a YouTube channel, podcast, then it's good to already have that information ahead of time or something that helps you get it there. So we've got that on her, and I'm going to put her head back on. Goes down like this, and then her horns go right in here. Wow, that is cool. That is a very detailed, well, actually I think it goes up just a little bit. We're going to make sure we get this right. Her horns have like little places for them. Yeah, there we go. Let's try to get this back up under here as we show you this figure with her cloak. It'd help if your fingers wasn't as big as mine, but hey, maybe in the future we'll get some rubberized tweezers. Might help with some of these unboxing videos. Wow, there she is with her cloak there and her hood. Pretty cool, pretty cool. There she is with her cloak and her hood. That is pretty awesome both ways there. And we'll take her lightsabers. I'm not sure. I want to be pretty accurate when I display these. So I want to take a look and see what side her sabers are on. Looks like the longer one is on her right. So we'll try to get those accurate to the way she would have them on the show. So we'll get the shorter one right here. Wow, that just hangs on there perfect. That is really cool. Okay, see? Her lightsaber hilts hang off her belt there like they do in the show. And we'll go ahead and put her in this display, which goes around her waist. Make sure I don't mess up her cloak or any part of her outfit with doing this, because there are some fragile pieces on here. There we go. Oh, and I knocked her hand off. I don't do that in the show. That would be kind of terrifying. Just walking along and your hand falls off. See if I can pick up that hand real quick, and I'll turn this figure around on the base and show you. Like I said, this is probably how I'm going to display her, because I really do like this base. It is really premium looking. So there she is. There's Ahsoka Tano with her cloak. She has that front piece that goes on like water. You have all your accessories there. That is a really premium, nice figure. Right there. I'm going to display her right up by Boba Fett. Excuse me. Din Djarin the Mandalorian. Boba Fett also has that Mandalorian armor. Well, thank you for joining me for episode 2, part 1 and 2, with Din Djarin the Mandalorian in his chrome armor, and Ahsoka Tano from the first time we see her in the Mandalorian series. Now later on, I don't have it yet or order anything either because it's a pre-order, but they have the white version with the white outfit from the Ahsoka series. I do want to get that one at some point, and we'll have an unboxing for that one. I do have a Grand Admiral Thrawn that's on the way that is from the Ahsoka series that will unbox him, as well as a Balin Skull from actor Ray Stevenson, who sadly did pass away. So that is one that definitely will be cherished with that actor that has passed on. Please join us next time for our next episode. The next episode we will be unboxing, let's see, I think we'll do the Boba Fett 2-pack, which is Boba Fett when we first see him in The Mandalorian, where he gets that armor back from Din Djarin, the armor that he actually had in that figure that we unboxed. He does give it back to Boba Fett. Boba Fett puts that armor on. Later on in the series, he'll repaint the armor, but this is a figure before he repaints the armor. Right when he puts it on, it's all scuffed up, and you get to see the full armor. He's missing a few pieces of it, because that's what happened when he climbed out of the Sarlacc pit. And then also, it's a 2-pack. He comes with Boba Fett without his armor in a cloak. You get to see his face from actor Timu Morrison. Very good likeness. And that was when he lived with the Tusken Raiders, which you'll see in the Book of Boba Fett TV series. Thank you. We'll see you next time on the Imperial Collector.